right on. Strode makes the save. It's kicked away. Well, that had him momentarily. Now Safiris takes it away, and here's Krieger coming to center for the Cubs. In over the line. Drops it back. Here's Safiris. Scores! What a rocket that was.
Well, it sure was a great shot by Tim Safiris, and you know, the Sioux Club come out here tonight and they took the body right away. They put the play into the Cubs end, but New Liskeard got a break, come up ice. Tim Safiris gets the goal, and I'll tell you, that's got to be pretty demoralizing. I thought the Sioux started well, even though it was for a short period of time, and bang, they're down 1-0.
Well, you can't let Timmy Safiris wind up like that for sure. You have to get on him and get that stick from hitting the puck, because if he can wind up over his head like that, we all know he can shoot. He hit it 65 times this year.
He'll score a pailful.
We want to welcome everybody watching on Cable 12, because as we do every year now, we do this live on radio and on tape delay for Cable 12. And we say hi to Denise Rayford and Andrew Hager. They wish they were somewhere else tonight, but they're here. Get our first stoppage. The referee, by the way, is Scotty Poirier, and the linesmen are Hugo Rive, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. I can't see him. Got the back foot. I didn't see them come in actually tonight. I'm always here early. I didn't know until they came onto the ice who was officiating. They were late, I guess. They thought the game started at 8:30. We fooled them. From the draw, puck dumped into the Cubs zone. Strode comes out to play it. Krieger getting the assist on that Safiris goal. 28 seconds into this game, and as you mentioned, Jim, not the way the Sioux wanted to start this one. Here's Rivard right in the slot, and the puck deflected off the stick to the corner. Don Scott keeps it in. Bain at the line. Brown hustling now after the puck. Leaves it there for Rivard. He's bodied to the board. Bain slides it into Brown. Tried to get it to Rivard, and picked off and shot down the ice. Doyle back after it. Ducato chasing him. Takes him into the boards lately. And the Cubs back the other way very quickly. Scott will dump it in, and the Cubs will change on the fly here. Curtis McLean on the ice with Jeremy Miller and Steve Alexander. Major getting into Alexander to McLean. Shot right on, rebound, sitting there, and it's gobbled up by Boyer. He slides it in right on goal. Strode will play it, and he dumps it into the corner. Major after it, plays it off the board. Now Boyer's there, right up front. It comes in the slot, loose puck, and Major picks it up and dumps it to center, right on McLean's stick. McLean in over the line, makes his move, going right through. He scores!
Wow, great goal by young McLean on that play there, Jack. Goaltender looked just a wee bit weak on that goal. The puck wasn't shot very hard, but McLean made a great play to get around the defenseman and get the second Cub goal.
Let it right along the ice between the legs. And Major gets the assist. He just sort of flipped it up softly to center, and McLean was there. He did all the rest of it by himself. And it's 2-0 Cubs here, and we're just nicely underway here in the first period.
Well, what do you do now? You've been working as hard as you can work, and 2 breaks and 2 goals.
I wonder, we'll have to watch to see how long Mr. Finn stays in there. Not you can call on the first one. There's a blast by Boyer wide of the Cub goal. Elliott fails to keep it in at the line. Krieger almost steals it. Now Joel will back up the play, dump it in. Finn comes out, can't play it. Burnham hustling in there. To Safiris, there's the shot, and he shot it wide. Joel takes a bump and keeps the puck in at the line. Here's Krieger right in front, and the save by Finn. And it comes right on to Corcoran's stick. He tried to get it up to Ament, but it was picked off. Burnham into the middle. Ament gets the stick on him momentarily. Puck's loose. Doyle moves up. Runs into a couple of Sioux players. Safiris falls in the corner. Boyer comes right through the slot area in the Sioux zone, and here's Corcoran, number 19. This guy had a couple of breakaways last night, and Jason Willard made 2 nice saves on him. Strode will play it for Jake Gibson, the Rookie of the Year in the Great North Indian Hockey League. In case you missed that last night, we made the announcement. Up changing again, Sean Scott hopping onto the ice. Here's Warnock playing one right in on goal. Strode makes the save, kept in up the line. Gilderly trying to get loose, throws one on goal, and it's tipped away by Sean Scott, and he'll just dump it to center. Brown hustling up there, down into the Sioux zone, and goes to the right of Finn. Brevard picking up the puck, tried to get it to Brown. It was picked off. Brown the near side. Bashore lost his footing, couldn't get over there in time, and he slides all the way down into the Cubs zone. Bain up on the left side to Scott. Brown tries to get by McDonald. Scott dumps it back along the boards in the corner. Hilderly off the glass, and I guess that get up and out of play.
Looked like it went up and out of play, and not a bad series of play there. We must have went a minute and a half, minute and 45 seconds without a whistle. Tempo of the game's a little better than last night, Jack, although the Cubs are on the scoreboard early, but the tempo of the game is certainly a little bit better than it was last night.
So a face-off up coming into Sioux zone to the right of Finn, who had no chance on the Safiris goal, but looked a little shaky on that the McLean goal. Cubs have a 2-0 lead, and we are just approaching the 5-minute mark of the first period. The next game in this series will be next Saturday night at 7:25 out in the Sioux, and we'll have period end reports of that one for you next Saturday night right here on CJTT, so don't worry, we'll let you know how the Cubs are doing on the road. There's a shot from the face-off. Finn makes the save. Brown was there, but missed the rebound. Ducato in over the line, and that's offside. It's 2-0 for the Cubs, and we'll be right back.
15 minutes, 21 seconds left here in the first period. Cubs enjoying a 2-0 lead, and actually shots on goal to this point. I've got 7 shots on goal for the Cubs and 3 shots on goal for Stu Carlucci. Face off outside the Cub blue line. It's dumped all the way in. Kept in there. Actually, Gibson bringing it out, coming out on the left side.
Back to the line action here on CJTT, Cubs in the Sioux, and Jim, you're a heck of an announcer there. I don't think I'm going to let you do that anymore because Denise will never get me to do this again.
Oh, sure.
I think the people out there are getting used to us doing this now, though.
Oh, I think
it's been about 3 years we've been doing it this way. They kind of expect it. 4 years? There you go. You sound like Tim Allen on Tool Time there. You never know how many years you've been married. Dumped in to the Cubs zone. Strode playing it with the stick. Speaking of getting married, soon, eh, Denise? Very soon. Seaman dumped it to the line, not out. Kept in. Ducato, high shot. Strode gloves it down, and he'll hang on with Corcoran and Gibson rumping it up a bit in front of the net.
Well, I guess he could have picked a little bit shorter guy.
Yeah.
He might have had a little trouble getting the shot in there. But actually, not a bad first period up to this point, and if the pace stays the way we've seen it so far, it'll be a little bit more entertaining than last night, although the Sioux could be tired by the end of the second period.
You would think, yeah. Jake Gibson from the face-off. Take it away, comes right out in front. Loose puck goes right to Miller, who slides it to McLean, and out come the Cubs. Jeremy Miller backhanding it into the Sioux zone. Cochran, number 3 behind his net. Gets it to Elliott. Up to Sittler. To Hilderly. He chases it into the Cubs zone, centered it out front, tipped away by Strode, and Sittler couldn't corral it and keep it in. Sioux will have to clear the zone. Seaman behind the net. Right in front of his own goal to McLean. Curtis McLean in over the line. There's a shot wide of the Sioux goal. Boyer will pick it up on the far side. Decides to turn back in the zone. And now just gives it away along the board. What was the strategy behind that?
I'm not sure about that one.
I think I just would have kept going the way I was going and got it out. But anyways, shot down the ice by the Sioux. Strone's going to come out and play this. And gets it to Burnham, trying to catch the Sioux. Changing, and it almost worked. Krieger just got thrown off a bit there. There's a shot from Safiris, stopped by Finn. Safiris Safiris back-checking it, taking it away from the Sioux player, McDonald. Now it's into the Cubs zone. Joyelle turning. McDonald chasing it into the Sioux zone in the corner behind the net. Has a little trouble with it. Gets it up on the wing to Corcoran. He throws it up on the right side to Warnock and takes a bump. And the puck slides down into the Cubs zone where Brown will take it. Off the board, center pass McDonald, down the ice it goes. And it's icing charged against the New Liskeard Cubs.
Well, a potential good play there with Andy Burnham cruising around the center ice area. He put the puck right on the tape for Jeff Krieger, and it could have been a better scoring chance than what it was. I think maybe Jeff was just a little bit step behind the play on that one.
And an alert play by Art Stroney, the goalie, who saw that was happening, came out and played it up to Burnham.
Yeah, it was a great play to move it up to the center ice area.
Rivard gets tossed from the face-off
Why
circle.
did they do that, Jack?
Don't be nasty.
I'll let you people know what we're talking about when I get a chance. Here's Paige Brown in over the line. He's dumped. John Scott in there to help out. The Cubs, two guys after that puck all the time. Here's Brown. The Rivard tipped away. Bain's going to let it go. It's blocked. But he keeps it in. John Scott battling along the boards. Now the giveaway right onto Rivard's stick. And now it's cleared up without a play. 2-0, the Cubs lead it. We will be right back.
We got to make the game interesting. We can't make it interesting by the play.
Oh, why did they do that?
Yeah, we're still here, Denise. We're not going to say anything bad.
Just check.
12:15 left here in the first period. The score is 2-0 for the Cubs, and not a lot of shots on goal compared to last night, but the Cubs are really flying. They've got their legs here tonight, and we're going to see a lot more action around that Sioux net. There's a shot off the face-off, deflected in behind the net. Carlucci tried to clear it out.
Liskeard Arena with Jack Moore and Jim Morgan, Heath Straker, Dan Rager. We're live on CJT and taping for Cable 12, so we'll hear Jim talking when we come back from Jack Stein. He's just taking over. That's the kind of guy he is.
Well, I feel brave tonight because the big boy's out of town.
By the way, he critiqued us last night. Did you talk to him today?
I haven't got a report, but I understand we will get a report on Monday, and if there's anything that we can do to make things better, he'll let us know.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll have to thank him when I see him. Any advice from Mike McCarthy? Advice well taken. Why do they do that? There's a shot all the way from center ice right on Stroney. He makes the save. Gibson tries to get it from Wayne. Gets handled. Now gets it again. Alexander got it back for Gibson. Back. Broken up and shot back down into the Cubs zone. Wayne and Ducato after it. The door. Along the boards down to Steve Alexander. He's being checked from behind by Ducato having a step side. Gilderly. Back check from off the helmet of Dillard, brings it back again. Inside the line, Alexander plays it back in and up and out of play.
And you mentioned there a minute ago, Jack, when the play was in the far corner to the left of the Carlucci net, that there were two Cubs in there on the puck all the time. There is, and the third guy's lurking in the weeds there right behind them, so it makes it pretty tough to play against that.
It doesn't seem that BC has any way to get around it or defend it. Or they just have to move the puck a little quicker, I think.
Well, the Cubs aren't going to let them do that, I don't think.
That's true. Easier said than done. Here's Royale. Fires it in off the glass, around and behind the two, and then it goes. Knocked flat in there by Tim Safiris. He's done that a few times this year. Now Safiris right out in front. Up to the crease. The pile up going in. Take it away. It's not out. Royale was trying to move up. Hard one on goal. Didn't make the save. Again, I'm not sure who's getting it.
I don't see who got the penalty. It's for interference for sure, and Tim Safiris did a great check there in the corner. And we've talked about Tim Safiris a lot through the year. Not only does he score goals, but that's the type of play that Tim Safiris can do. He can hit you, he can hurt you, and that gives a lot of room out there for his line mates.
That's for sure. And Joelle! You've got TV on the brain there, kid. This is on radio, you know.
I'm sorry.
Frequency 12. Oh, boy. Here comes Krieger, speeding to center. Cubs on the power play. Trying to get it to Burnham. He'll pick it up himself now as he chases it in, and it's cleared up and out of play by the Carlucci with the 1:33 left in this Cub power play.
I think maybe Denise has got a little ghosting on her channels there, Jack. There's something going on here. We're going to have to get alignment done if we can find John.
John doesn't work on Saturdays.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, I don't think so.
I see.
No, Denise, yeah, I kind of figured that. Just Andrew and Denise work on Saturdays.
I see.
Sundays.
And Sundays, okay. And, yeah. And all those other days in the weekend. From the draw, the Sioux get it out and down the ice. They're short-handed for the next minute 28. Stroney will play it up from the shore. Art Stroney likes to play that puck, doesn't he? Comes out all the time to play it. Down into the Sioux zone it goes. McDonald against Brown. Here's Scott coming out with it. Trying to get out in front and take it away and shot down the ice. Cubs lead it here 2-0. Safiris and McLean, the goal scorers. Safiris got it going at the 28-second mark of this first period. The Cubs picked up where they left off last night. Scott slides it up to Brown. A little too far for him. But he'll chase it to the corner, gets it back to the point to Greg Major. Along the boards for Scott, couldn't handle it, and it's cleared, but Major kicks it back in, and now it's shot out and down the ice with 46 seconds left in the Cub power play. Stroney playing it up to McCrank. To McLean. Long pass up on the left side to Brown. Making it on his backhand. Tried to slide it to Greg Major, who had pinched in right in front. Oh, Alexander was there, and Finn came up with a big save. Nice play all around there. McLean gets to Alexander. He overskates it. Major there to back up the play and dumps it into the Sioux zone right on goal. And Finn's going to freeze it and hang on. The Cubs have a 2-0 lead, and we'll be right back.
Well, we're getting rid of those commercials in a hurry, Jack. We're halfway, a little over halfway through the first period here, and the shots on goal somewhat different than last night. The Cubs have 13 shots to this point, and Sioux Carlucci have 7. The face-off will be in the Sioux end. McLean moves in to take the face-off against Hilderly for the Sioux. And the draw goes to the Cubs. Back to the point, over to Gibson, back over to Seaman.
David Seaman on the power play on the point as we return to live action here. Cubs on the power play. Now they're not anymore. Right out front it comes. As it just expires, and the Sioux player back on the ice. But Seaman's going to let it go through a screen, high and wide of the net, caroms all the way out to center right, where Gibson will take it. To Miller. He's knocked down at center ice, and here comes Warnock, rather. Long, weak shot wide of the Cubs goal. Jake Gibson behind the net. Up on the left side to Alexander. Feeds it up to McLean off the heel of his stick. Somebody lost their glove. That's Jeremy Miller. You better get that back on. Here's Boyer back the other way for the Sioux. Punched along the boards by Gibson. Warnock trying to steal it inside the Cub line. Andy Burnham slides it to center. Morrison's there. Throws it back into the Cub zone. Seaman picking that up. Gets it up to Zafiris. In over the line. Tim making moves. Cutting right in on goal. The puck's sitting there, and it's cleared away. Spin was down. Zafiris now on that puck again. And we get a whistle. Burnham and Sittler were mixing it up in the corner, and I think they're both going to go.
Well, it looks like they might, and Carlucci killed off that last penalty fairly well, Jack. The score does stay at 2-0, and they could have folded up their tent, you know, when 2-0 lead came so quick after they'd had a couple scoring chances of their own. They didn't do that, and they're back into this game. They're playing a little more aggressive tonight. They're skating fairly well, and up to this point in time, it's been a better game than last night.
Yeah, just glancing at your shots, it doesn't look to be as many shots at this point of the game as there was last night.
No, in fact, I can probably show you a little look at the first period. No, I can't. I haven't got that paper here, but it was like about 3 columns long for the first period. There's a little discussion going on here in front of the Carlucci net. I don't know what the problem is. have to look at the penalty board.
The Sioux, I think, got the extra penalty on this.
It would appear that they did get the extra penalty. They don't need that. That's the type of thing that they don't need.
For sure.
Jeremy Miller working hard out there tonight. I noticed he got hit hard a couple times, but he got up and got back into the play, and that's good.
From the draw, high in the air, down into the Cubs zone. So the Cubs on the power play again here. They were unsuccessful the last time around. Let's see if they can click on this one. Scott in the Sioux zone. Feeds it to Joyelle. Into the corner to Krieger. Back to the point. Joyelle lets it go. That's blocked. And Cochran's going to get a stick on it. And high in the air it went. And what are they saying?
I think they're going to keep it inside. It looks like it must have went off of a Carlucci player.
Maybe on the bench? Something like that? I don't know what it been. I thought it just came high in the air and out. Hey, they're closer to it than we are.
They sure are.
From the draw, just inside the Sioux line, Scott grabs it, fires it into the corner. Hilderly gets it to the line. Joyelle can't keep it in. Gets it across to Bain at center. Now it's Bain waiting for his teammates to get onside, and Krieger's trapped inside the line. He lost the stick. Now he's out. Back into the Sioux zone it goes. Krieger gets it back to the point to Bain. Over to Joyelle. Joyelle walking in, side of the net. Krieger's got the open net. And how did he miss that?
He doesn't know.
I don't think he knows. We don't. 57 seconds on this power play. The Cubs trying to get a shot, and now it's taken away and shot down the ice. Boy, oh boy.
Krieger's still looking back at the net.
How did that happen? Here's Miller taking the pass. McLean backing up the play now. Gets it back to Joyelle. Bouncing puck, and it comes out to center. Gets it across to Bain, who just chips it into the Sioux zone, and McDonald will chase it behind the net. Drops it back. 25 seconds left in the Cub power play. They're in control in the Sioux zone. Gibson along the boards to Brown. Feeds it off to McLean, who gets it back to Gibson again. He throws one on goal, and it was tipped just wide. And Corcoran gets a hold of it and shoots it down the ice, and that should just about do it for this Cup power play. And Sioux, again, with a little luck on their side there, managed to kill that off. So it remains 2-0 Cubs with 5:33 left here in the first period. There's a giveaway. Brown trying to get through. He's checked. And Ducato plays it out to center. Now he picks it up again. Ducato in over the line. He had 2 of the 3. He had 2 goals last night. Tried to feed it through to Corcoran. That was picked off. And Brown comes back the other way with Miller and Major. Brown goes down. Sioux can't get it out. Major from the blue line right on. Finn gets the pad out, makes the save, and it's shot out and down the ice. And that will be icing. Charged against the Sioux Carlucci.
Well, Jack, you made a comment a little while ago about the puck going out of the playing area and the fact that the officials were closer than we were. You're right about that. And the other point that you should have made was the fact that their eyes are a little bit younger than ours as well.
Good point.
You have to give the guys credit. They do a good job. You know, we judge the officials on what we see all year, and they're just human. They're like the rest of us, and they do a good job overall.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult to make those quick decisions when you're down there in the heat of the action. Here's the Cubs stealing it inside the line. Right in front it comes. The net's empty, and Rivard couldn't pull it around Finn and slide it home, and down the ice it goes as Seaman chases it into his own zone with Ouimet right after him. Now he has to turn away from Ouimet. In behind the net he goes. He's going to try to settle things down here. Right in front of Strode. And Joyelle will come out with it. Luke Joyelle in over the line. Throws it in front. And Alexander was there. He was tied up by Warnock. He goes down. Morrison backhanding it. Joyelle keeps it in. Gazzetto along the boards to Warnock. Couldn't handle it. Here's Joyelle cutting to the middle. Dumps it to the corner. He's going to head to the bench. Lost his glove in the play. And Morrison skates to center. Up on the left side to Hilderly. Puts on the brakes, throws it into the slot. Bain's there to take it away. And he feeds it up. Krieger falls, chasing it on the far side. Ricky Burnham battling right in front of the penalty bench area for it. Comes loose and slides back to Greg Major inside his own line. Major's going to crank one from center right on. Bad save by Finn. And Cochran will skate it to center for the Carlucci. Makes a move. Penalty coming up here to the Cubs. Delayed call, and the call will be a high stick.
Looks like a high stick, and we've got 3:24 left here in the first period. The score is 2-0 in favor of the Cubs, and this may give the Carlucci a chance to get a little bit closer on the scoreboard. Cubs have 20 shots on goal here in the first period. Sue Carlucci have 7, and I believe the first 2 periods last night, Carlucci had a total of 11. So they're certainly playing a little bit better here tonight, and with a little bit more life too, Jack.
And the Cubs not firing the puck from every angle so far in this one. They seem to be a little more selective about their shots.
They've made a few pretty plays out there tonight as well.
Yeah, they sure have. Finn settled down, though, hasn't he, since the first couple of goals? I think he's got a little luck on his side, but he's been able to keep the Cubs from scoring. Hilderly, as the Sioux go on the power play, looking to get within one here. Hilderly in behind his own net, trying to set this up. Cubs kill penalties very well. Probably the best in the league at it. Here's Hilderly in over the line. Gives it away to Safiris. Now Safiris racing up the ice. Cutting right in. Finn's got the leg out there. They jam away. It goes in. And they're going to count that.
Yeah, it looks like, actually it looks like a face-off in the corner, Jack.
He pointed towards the net with the arm, and now maybe he's saying face-off. Yeah, Greg Major is going in here to talk about it, so it must be a face-off.
Well, you know, I noticed a funny thing on that. The Cubs were killing the penalty, and the play was up in the Sioux blue line area, and we had 3 Cubs up there and 1 back. I mean, they were on the forecheck killing the penalty.
They're always on the attack. They never sit back, right, Denise?
Whatever you say, Jack. You know the game better than
I would describe the Cubs as just like a woman, always on the attack.
I wouldn't say that.
So no goal, as the referee assessed that Mr. Finn had stopped it long enough. Made a nice save, and it was a good play by Safiris to steal it.
That's not a bad idea. I think when the goaltender has the puck covered, there's no reason for players to hammer away at it and try to knock it loose.
So it remains 2-0 Cubs. Sioux still on the power play for the next minute 19. Hilderly in the corner. Dumps it behind the net. Sioux having all kinds of trouble coming out of their own zone, and Dave Brown is the reason. He's all over.
Guess who, Jack? Guess who?
Stole it away again, and Cubs just killing this off as they dump it in. Finn will play it to Morrison, and right in there on top of him is Dave Brown. Corcoran to Hilderly over the line, drops it back, walks in, lets it go, rebound, Stoney's down, and it bounces into the corner. That was probably the best chance the Sioux's had in quite some time. Now McDonald at the point, lets it go, right on, rebound, backhand shot, side of the net, and it's tipped wide. Corcoran in the corner. Gets it back to the point to Morrison. Throws it into the side of the net off the stick. Hilderly will pick it up off the board. Sioux with the man advantage here, and then they just give it away to Sean Scott, and he'll slowly bring it to center. 17 seconds left in the power play. Brown taking his time, ragging it into the Sioux zone, dumps it in. He'll head to the bench. He's got to be tired. And that'll do it for the Sioux power play as they come up the ice here. They won't get a shot on goal. And the Cub player, Krieger, is back on the ice. And out come the Cubs quickly to center. There's a lead pass to Krieger. He's onside. Krieger right there on goal, scored!
What a great goal. And Jeremy Miller made the play from the center ice area, and he sprung Krieger. Krieger made no mistake, and that's one of the nicest goals we've seen in some time. 3-0 the score here now in the first period. And Jack, Sioux, that's going to hurt the Sioux.
Oh, that was a heck of a pass, wasn't it? And perfect, right where he had to put it, right just onside, and he was gone.
Right on the tape, and I noticed that Krieger's got a little jump into his skating tonight. He hasn't had that for some time. He's coming off an injury, but he's wheeling out there tonight.
He sure is. So the Sioux hanging in there, but the Cubs striking right after that penalty kill. Now Sittler and Major get into it just inside the Cub line.
Well, we mentioned the other night last night, that Sittler was pretty aggressive for the Sioux. He's not very big, but he's in on the play all the time.
And I've yet to see Greg back down from anybody, so they'd go at it. And I guess we're getting penalties here.
It looks like penalties, and we've got 1 minute and 6 seconds left here in the first period. The Sioux could have come out of this period only 2 goals down, but they're going to come out 3 or more down from what it looks like right now. So Sittler and Major go to the box.
And they just sort of gave each other a shot in the chops.
Well, we didn't see much of that last night. Last night's game was a pretty tame affair.
And I think we thought we would.
And we thought we would.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see it all tonight. Kept in at the line off the face-off in the Cubs zone by Rosetto momentarily, but the Cubs will come out with it. Here's McLean. He's got Alexander with him trying to get through. The loose puck backhanded up over top of the net. Comes right back on top of the goal, and Finn reaches up and puts his glove on it. Boy, last night there was a puck on top of the net down there.
There sure was. The Poirier, the referee, looking from the far corner, and it looks like the face-off will stay in the Sioux end. Actually, it's coming outside, of course, because the Cub player did shoot the puck.
51 seconds left in this first period. And coming up in our first intermission, we'll head back to the studios. Mike Cutting will have broadcast news for you, let you know what's going on in the world other than what's happening here. At least I hope he will. If he remembers. If not, Andrew, get ready to talk, my friend. We're going to find out your life story. Cubs on the attack again here, and a heavy hit in the corner. We've got a cross-checking goal. I think Joyel's going to go.
Yep, Joyel's on his way to the box, and now that opens the door once again to the Carlucci's opportunity to get a little bit closer into this game. Whether they capitalize on this or not, we don't know, but we'll know shortly with 35 seconds left. Here in the first period, the score does stay at 3-0.
So the Cubs send out McLean, Miller, Gibson, and Seaman. Try and kill this off. And Wimet takes the draw for the Sioux. Here's Elliott. Gives it away to McLean inside the line, and Miller moves in and gets a shot on goal. It wasn't a hard shot, but again, the Sioux having all kinds of trouble with the Cub forechecking.
Well, they sure are, and you know, I heard a few people commenting on the fact that the Cubs were playing their big line. But that, you know, that's a comment that's pretty unfair because they got 2 or 3 big lines. So,
that's
you know,
true.
which is the big line?
You're right. You can't. You check one line, and the other guys will get you. Sioux trying to come out now with 19 seconds left. They're on the power play, but running out of time in this period, and it's cleared up into the Cub bench. So we'll get another stoppage. That was one thing I noticed last night. Although it wasn't a very rough game, there were very few penalties. It was a long game because of the stoppages. Lots of dumping it into the crowd, freezing it, offsides, 2-line passes.
Yeah, you're right about that, Jack. And actually, this period's moved along pretty good.
Elliott. Morrison, he takes a look at the clock. Just 10 seconds to go in the period. I think they're just going to try and get out of this down 3-0 now. They shoot it down the ice, actually, and they're going to let that go. And that'll bring an end to the first period of play. The Cubs with a 3-0 lead. And what were the final shots in that period?
Well, the final shots on goal that I have are 22 for the Cubs, and I've got 9 for the Sioux Carlucci.
And the penalties, 4 apiece in that period. So we had more penalties in the first period tonight than we did almost in the whole game last night. Interestingly enough, the goal scorers in this period, for those of you just joined us, Tim Safiris, Curtis McLean, and Jeff Krieger. So the team will head to the dressing room. The Cubs up 3-0. And for those of you watching on Cable 12, don't go away. We'll be back with the second period after this. Ready to go here with period number 2. The Cubs leading 3-0, and the Sioux on the power play for 1 minute and 19 seconds. Gibson firing it down into the Sioux zone. Jamie Elliott back there to pick it up. Running the zone net. Chad Finn, the goaltender tonight for the Sioux, and Art Stroney for the Cubs. Cubs firing 20 shots towards Mr. Finn in that first period. And Stroney facing 9 Sioux shots. Zuccato behind his own net. Krieger up there forechecking. Long pass up to Hilderly. He couldn't handle it. Seaman will grab it, flip it into the Sioux zone. Zuccato takes it. Here's Corcoran over the line. Gets it to Hilderly. Looks in front. Gets it back to the point to Zuccato. Here comes the shot. Well wide of the Cub goal. And it comes off the board. Stroney will dive out there and hang on as he slides into the board.
Well, we got a couple guys leaving the penalty box area, the offsetting minors that happened late in the first period, but the Cubs still have 29 seconds to kill the other penalty off, and the Sioux have the opportunity here to get back into the game. They haven't had any scoring shots here in the second period, but they certainly were around the net a little bit, Jack.
So, what do we got? 29 seconds left in the Sioux power play as Ouimet turns and fires off the stick. Kept in there by Rosetto. In front it goes, and Corcoran just took a little bit too long, and the shore was able to knock it away. They battle forward in the corner. Baines going to pick up the loose puck and fired along the boards. Kept in there by Ouimet. Bounces past Bain, but now comes right to Brown, and down the ice it goes, and that'll do it for the Sioux power play. And they come up empty-handed again. Bard jumping on the ice now as Joel heads to the bench. And here comes Hilderly. In over the Cub line. Working against Bain, throws it through the slot area. Nobody's there. Brown picks it up. Plays it up to Sean Scott. Couldn't get loose. Now here's Brevard. In over the line. Into the corner it goes to Brown. Out in front of the net it comes. Warnock's there. And he'll skate it to center with Brevard. Back checking. Boyer can't get away. Ouimet brings it in offside at the Cub blue line. 3-0, the Cubs leading it, and we'll be right back.
17:52 here left in the second period, and the Sioux Carlucci not able to get many shots on goal during the last power play. However, the score is still respectable. It's 3-0. The face-off will be outside the Cub blue line. And the face-off, Ouimet takes the face-off with McLean. McLean did get the draw. He gets the puck back at the center ice area and dumps it in. It's stopped and left in the center ice area. McLean over to Gibson. Gibson looks, loses the pass.
Welcome back to live action here in CJTT as McCrank picks up the puck, gets it up to Miller. Jeff McCrank not seeing a lot of ice time in these first two games. Puck in behind the Sioux goal. McLean in there loses a stick in his glove. And Ouimet picks it up to Camling his way through traffic. Gets it up to Sittler off his skate. Right to Gibson. Doesn't come out. Goes Seaman now. Will carry it out of the Cub zone. Jonathan Seaman down the left side. Cuts from the middle. Lets a shot go off the skate of Cochran into the corner. And Cochran comes back. He's being hustled there by Miller. Here are the Cubs, 2-on-1. McLean to McCrank right in front, and a nice save by Finn as McCrank tipped it in on goal. Now McDonald and McLean with their sticks a little high in the corner. Sittler on the near side. He was bracing himself for that hit by Miller. And now Miller and Sittler getting a little bit of a wrestling match there. They break that up quickly.
Well, Miller's been a little bit aggressive out there tonight, and that's not all that bad. The Cubs aren't taking the body very much, and they didn't do that last night either. But like you mentioned all year and late in the year, this Cub team, they're big enough and they're quick enough. They can skate with you or they can bump with you. If you want a bumping game, they'll bump. If you want to skate, they'll skate.
Yeah, no problem. They can do it, and they've done it all year. And you mentioned last night that Jeremy Miller was a little feisty, and he is again today. I don't think he had his chicken wing feed there the last couple of days. I think he's a little testy there. We'll have to see if we can fix him up after the game. There's Zuccato trying to break in. Corcoran's got the loose puck, shot it wide as he walked in, and he missed the net. Here's Bain back for the Cubs. Got Safiris. In over the line, drops it back to Burnham, shot right on. Finn will cover up the rebound and hang on. So the Cubs transition game really working well the last 2 games. They give up a chance and they're right back the other way.
Well, they sure are. And the only thing that you can say that, and I don't say it as a negative thing, but last night they gave up 2 clear-cut breakaways and 2 that were darn near clear-cut breakaways, and they've got to watch that.
Burnham going down in the corner with the Morrison. Pair of 6s. A little bit difference in size there. There's a shot off the leg, bounces to the boards, and comes out to the center ice. Pierce chipped it back in to Gatto. Picks himself up and gets it out to center. Joel had her pop over his stick. Now here's Burnham. Pass up the middle, off the boards. Krieger chasing it. Morrison gets there and just gets rid of it to center ice, where Burnham takes it. Into the Sioux zone it goes, and it's flipped high in the air to center. Glove down by Joel. Fires it into the left of Finn. He's going to come out and play it. Hilderly just shooting it to center. Sault Marie look like they've got a 5-0 lead. They're trying to protect it here the way they're playing. I think they need some offense. Down into the Cubs zone it goes. Hilderly back along the board. Burnham's going to chop at it, gets it out to center ice. Belanger over to Rosetto. Back for Belanger. Plays it up. Hilderly's there. Barker in over the line with Boyer. Here's Boyer's shot, and that weak wrist shot goes wide. Belanger from the point, and that drifts wide. Rosetto just plays it off the boards, and behind the net it goes. Hilderly trying to get it out in front of Boyer. Puck comes into the face-off circle, and Sean Scott takes over for the Cubs, and he comes to center. Dumps it off to Rivard inside the Sioux line, drops it for Seaman, and that shot from the blue line just goes wide. Major knocks his man down to keep it in. There goes the blade of somebody's stick. They try to jam it in the short side, and pins down and hangs on. 3-0, the Cubs lead it, and we'll be right back.
Well, the Sioux Carlucci have not had a shot on goal in this second period. They've had lots of shots near the goal, but they haven't had a shot on goal up to this point in the second. The Cubs have had 4. The score remains at 3-0. A little bit closer game than last night. The territorial advantage is not quite as marked as it was last night, but the Cubs certainly seem to be able to turn their game up when they want to and coast along when they want to.
Back live at the Liskeard Arena. Face-off upcoming in the Sioux zone to the right of Finn. Right off the face-off, Rivard tried to walk in and almost got that shot away. Checked at the last second. And here comes Boyer back down the ice for the Sioux. In over the line against Major. Drake takes it away from him, dumps it behind the net. To the far side it goes. Brown avoids his check and gets it up to Rivard. Rivard one-on-one. Makes his move, drops it back. And Rosetto was there. Now here comes Rosetto. He's got Boyer with him on the far side, and over the line they go. He doesn't even look at Boyer and just takes a long shot well wide of the net. You wonder sometimes watching these guys what they're thinking out there. Major, high in the air, hits the AAA midget Ontario banner.
Well, they're not thinking, Jack. That's the problem, because the Sioux had the right winger wide open. The puck was kept by the Sioux player on the left side, took a long shot, didn't hit the net, was lucky to hit the end of the rink, as a matter of fact, and there was no scoring chance.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of mustard on that, was it?
13:37 here left in the second period. The score remains 3-0.
And the goal scorers, Safiris, McLean, and Krieger, all in the first period. The Cubs will open this game with scoring at the 28-second mark. Here's Warnock pushing one towards the net that goes wide. Oh, Cochran just flattened Alexander as they collided in the Cubs zone. McLean will get it out to center. Just under Jeremy Miller's reach. Gibson, though, backing up the play, trying to stick handle his way through traffic, lost the puck, and McDonald turns in the face-off circle in his own zone and slides it to center. Now here's Berkman picking up speed and over the line, tried to get a shot away. McLean back there to take it away from him. He's getting a little tight here in the center ice zone now. Now here's McLean in over the line, and he's offside as he let the shot go. Anyway,
Well, that's the way the Sioux has to play it, Jack. In the last 3 minutes, they've been holding on to the elbows and the shoulders and getting a little bit of the Cub players' sticks and that type of thing, and that's the only way that they're going to slow this Cub team down. And if they can do it without getting a penalty, that's the way they have to play it.
So the face-off will come outside the Sioux line. Hilderly in there against Krieger. And on the far side, I'm watching Corcoran and Burnham kind of jostling there. We'll keep an eye on those two guys. I know the referee is. There, right? They're still whacking at each other over there. Now the Sioux player hanging on to Burnham's stick. He let go at the right time, I think. Just in time. Here's the Fierce for the Cubs, coming to center. Tried to get that up to Krieger, hit a skate. Now Burnham. Inside the Sioux line, dumps it off to Krieger, and a save by Finn. Nice play there by Andy Burnham to slide it over. There's a long shot in on goal. It was flipping end over end. Finn had to be careful with that one, and he hangs on.
Well, Big Andy making a few good plays here tonight. I don't know, I don't think he's injured, but he doesn't seem to be as aggressive as he normally is, and I'm not saying he's coasting, but he's not in the play like I normally see.
He doesn't seem to have the zip that he had earlier in the season.
Sure doesn't.
I guess for some guys, it's just you get to a point in the year where you just kind of run out of gas, and it's hard to get it back.
Well, he better get it back because they sure need him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Sittler trying to tip it out of his own zone. He couldn't get it out, but backing up to play was Elliott. Gets it to Zaccato. Long shot kicked away by Stoney. Pierce. He loses it in the corner. Dane takes his man off the puck. Sittler behind the Cub net. Dumps it out front. And Zaccato couldn't get a shot away. And Burnham gets it to center. And he showed good discipline there. He took a hard hit, but skated away from it. Now he brings it in offside at the Sioux line.
11:52 here left in the second period. We're about halfway through the game, and 3-0 game at this point. It's certainly an improvement on last night. We keep talking about last night like we keep talking about the year that the Cubs had, but that's what you have to talk about because that's the last thing that we saw.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
The big guy, if the big guy was critiquing us tonight, you get a plus for that thing.
I get a +1.
Oh boy. Here's Gibson over to Major. Up for Scott, cut off by Ouimet. He has to wait for his teammates to get on side. He just dumps it in, and Major is going to rifle it around the boards to Brown. Chips it up to Scott, a little too far. Pops over the stick of Belanger. Finn comes out to play it, and he played it over the glass.
Well, just to clarify that a little bit too, Jack, just because the big guy's out of town doesn't mean that he doesn't know what's going on. Because he'll know as much as you and I by tomorrow morning.
I think the goaltender's getting a penalty here for clearing it over the glass. I didn't think that was a rule in this league. I knew it was in the NHL.
Well,
Is that what he's calling? He's talking to the Sioux player. Well, the goaltender come out to clear the puck, and he went over the glass, you see, and he's calling delay of game, or is he? The penalty door is open on the Sioux side, but...
Well, I don't think anybody knows what's going on here. First of all, they don't know what's happening at the penalty box, and secondly, they're not sure where the faceoff is.
Well, Sittler's
He's not sure he wants to go.
He was going there, but now he's coming back. I don't know who.
Well, there's 2 minutes on the board.
There you go. He must have made the call.
I guess Sittler's going to go out and instruct somebody to go on.
There you go. He's telling Boyer to go. So we do get a penalty. We'll wait for the announcement to see exactly what the call was. Maybe something else happened at the same time. It was coincidence. Sioux trying to get it out, but the Cubs will keep it in. Brown behind the net. Here's Major. Rivard and Scott on the boards. Major blasts one high and wide. Caroms all the way to the near side where Jake Gibson will keep it in. Now Brown. For Scott behind the net. Yeah, that's what it was. Delay of game. There's a shot right on. Tipped wide by Rivard. Sittler got it to the line. Gibson did a nice job to keep that in. Major hits Sittler with it. Now Sittler dumps it out and down to the Cub blue line. 1:15 left in the power play. Here comes Gibson. He's checked by Sittler. Major will have to get back there to pick up the loose puck. Leaves it for Gibson behind the Cub net to set things up. Well, Rivard a little too far. Gets by Miller as well. Sittler and Miller get tied up inside the line. Scott takes his man off the puck. Now Sean Scott comes up with it, dumps it behind the net to McLean. He gets it back to Major at the point. Along the boards, McLean off his stick. We have a penalty coming up here.
No question about that one, Jack.
A slashing call going to Big Greg Major.
Well, the Cubs are losing a little bit of their discipline here tonight, and that can happen when you play the same team 2 nights in a row, and the score was so big last night, and the Cubs have been in no trouble tonight, but discipline is something that you have to have, and you have to have it when you're playing the better teams. You can get away with it here, and you can get away with it probably in the Sioux on Saturday night, but when you move on to the next series, you better get that discipline back.
So they'll play even strength for 39 seconds, and then the Sioux will have the man advantage. Here's Miller firing it around behind the net. Hilderly and McLean battling to the left to fit in the corner. Now it comes around to Cochran, who just dumps it to center. Seaman will chase it down. Turning away from Hilderly. Slides it across to Joyelle. Up the middle for McLean behind him. Down the ice at goal. Spin will stop it and leave it there for McDonald. He turns away from McLean and falls. Curtis McLean trying to dig it free. And here comes Hilderly. Back to the Sioux. Long pass up to Corcoran. And he's got himself a break. Cuts in. Lets it go. Strode to save. Rebound. And another save by Strode. Here's Zucano at the point. Too many men for the Sioux and they don't catch it. Here's McDonald. Right on, and Strode hangs on. So 2 big saves by Art Strode on that sequence, Jim.
Well, for sure, and Art looked good on those 2, and as a matter of fact, now the Sioux Carlucci will have the power play. Shots on goal here in the second period. 6 shots for the Cubs, 4 shots for Sioux Carlucci.
And you could hear the Cub bench yelling, too many men, and I think for a second there they did, and then the guy got off in time. I guess the referee didn't see it.
No, and the player certainly wasn't in the play.
So the Sioux, as you mentioned, on the power play for minute 7 here, trailing 3-0. Again, game 3 in this series won't be until next Saturday night out in Sault Ste. Marie. And we'll have period end reports of that game for you on CJTT. Cochran in his own zone. Krieger right on top of him. Here's Morrison. To Cochran. Dumps it to center. Cubs just taken. Throw it back down the ice. They're shorthanded for the next 42 seconds. Morrison overskating it. Krieger right on that puck. Cubs doing a tremendous job killing this off. Down the ice it goes again. 28 seconds left in the man advantage for the Carlucci. So far, nothing's working. Cleared the center. Bain's going to bring it back in. Lets it go off the Sioux player. And right now, even though here's Safiris getting into the slot, he's trying to wind up. Now he'll skate back to center to kill off the rest of his penalty. Here's Safiris walking right in over to Krieger. Scores!
Well, Jack, very unselfish play by Tim Safiris. He saw Jeff Krieger there at the side of the net and put the puck over. He could easily have shot the puck. He was in good position to shoot it. He chose not to. He made a great play. Krieger gets the easy goal, and that runs the score up to 4-0.
That whole power play for the Sioux was a disaster. The Cubs just controlled the puck, and they looked like they were on the power play, and eventually they stole it away. And as you mentioned, a very pretty play.
Well, the forechecking too, Jack. Both forwards were in forechecking, and you said that before. They're dangerous when they're killing the penalty.
They just never stop. They're on you all the time. So it's 4-0 for the Cubs with 8:05 to go in the second period. Well, forget, we'll have our trivia answer for you and our winner in our second intermission. Brought to you by Campus and Play. Here's Joyelle stealing a puck inside the line. Gets it up to Brown. He's dropped it back for Joyelle. Taken away by Belanger. Cleared up and out of play in the penalty bench area.
Things a little quiet here at the moment, Jack. We don't have a big crowd at the game tonight, and I guess that's understandable. On the season's play, people didn't expect much in this series. To this point, there hasn't been a lot in this series other than a lot of goals.
And after last night's game, you know, kind of people think, should I go and watch it? Nah, the Cubs will win. So that's the theory behind a lot of those shows, I'm sure. Here's Scott from the face-off, around behind the net, centered it out front. Cleared away, and Ouimet takes it. He gets it to Sittler. He falls over top of the Cub player, Brown, or Rivard, and we get a whistle.
And we're well over halfway through this game, and it's not out of reach yet, but probably nearly out of reach.
And you know, if you wondered how Art Stroni would play standing down there, not taking any shots for a long period of time, I think he showed us he's in the game, stopping that breakaway and then the rebound on that break, and 2 nice saves. He's a big kid in there, isn't he?
Got good size.
Yeah. Covers a lot of that net. Sean Scott goes down behind the 2-goal. Here's Brown, scores! Picked it up and snuck it in the short side.
Downtown Brown, your man, Jack. There he is.
He was asking me, he said, how come nobody showed up for my autograph session? So well, I told him to come.
Well, you said it was on, and
I think the mistake he made, he didn't have Krieger there with him.
well, that could have been it. But you know, they're two similar type guys, Brown and Krieger. When they're playing this game, they're good skaters and they're forecheckers. And I tell you, that Brown guy, he's got to be something to play against. I mean, he's got to get under your skin.
And the way he plays, he took very few penalties this year, and of course was the most gentlemanly player in the league. So
Exactly.
now we got a goaltending change here at the 7:21 mark here of the second period, and we've got Robert Zagel going in place of Chad Pitt. So as we saw last night, a change in goaltenders.
Following the pattern of last night's game, the only thing that's a little bit better than last night, I think the score last night was a little higher at this point, but not a lot.
5-0 Cubs. Safiris, McLean, Krieger again here in the second, and Brown just scoring to make it 5-0. And here they come again. Andy Birdham in over the line right from the face-off, centered it, and Zagel gets his pad on that. Bain tried to throw it in front. Now Alexander picks off that pass. Right out front to Alexander again. He tipped it. Wraparound attempt there by Birdham on the backhand, and Zagel got his pad over there. Here's Alexander in front again. He couldn't pop it home, and it goes all the way down into the Cub zone where Mazur takes it. Long pass up to McLean, in over the line. Lets it go off a skate. Alexander trying to get to it. Bain moves up, chops at it, high in the air, up but out of play. The Cubs lead it 5-0, and we'll be right back.
The face-off will be in the Sioux end to the right of the goaltender Zagel. Krieger goes out to take the face-off for the Cubs. Sioux making a line change here. Ken Belanger moves in. He'll take the face-off for the Sioux. Score remains 5-0 in favor of the Cubs. 6:39 left here in the second period.
Thank you, Kathy, and we are back live here in Liskeard Arena. Jack Moore with Jim Moore, and on Cable 12, Denise Bayford and Andrew Eger. Here's McCrank centering it to Krieger right from the draw, and he just failed to tip that home. Cubs starting to take over and dominate now, Jim, at this point. It took them a little longer than last night, but it looks like the outcome is going to be the same. Here comes McCrank. Dumps it off to Krieger. Shot high up. Off the glass. It looked like it went over the glass and came back in play.
Sure looked like it to me. And it also sounded like it.
Yeah. But we keep rolling. And Boyer comes back for the Sioux. Stroni comes out to play it. In behind the play, we've got Krieger and Belanger. getting into it a bit. Krieger goes down, Boyer goes over top of him. Puck in the Cubs zone, Belanger keeping it in, and I think a Sioux player is going to get a penalty here.
Roughing.
Number 19, Corcoran.
Well, the difference that I see up to this point, Jack, last night's game when it started, the Cub team came out flying. They were ready to play. Tonight, it seems they come out, they were skating good, and they were passing the puck good, but I'm not sure they had the same jump, and I think they were prepared to wait 5 or 10 minutes to get the thing rolling, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Krieger, Zafiris, and Burnham out there now for the Cubs. Face off outside the Cub blue line, right in front of the Sault Ste. Marie bench. Zafiris taking it, gets it back to Major. Stands on his pass, has to turn. So the Cubs on the power play here for the next minute 49. As Corcoran goes for roughing. Shot into the Sioux zone, and Zago is going to freeze that with Burnham hustling in there looking for a loose puck.
You know, the other thing, Jack, too, the Cubs are playing very well without the puck. Now, they've had the puck most of the night, I'll grant you that. But without the puck, they're playing their positions well. I noticed Burnham going up and down his wing well. He's staying out of trouble, and that's good. I mean, they need Andy on the ice.
Face off to the right of Zago. Krieger kicks it back to Zafiris. He winds up right on, and a nice save by Zago. And again, you can't let Tim Zafiris do that too often. He's not going to hit the goaltender. He misses the goaltender more than he hits him, or hits the net more than the goaltender. One of those three. Here's Joyelle in over the line, moving up to get it to Burnham, over to Zafiris, back to Krieger. Comes on the power play. Major teeing it up, scores!
Good shot from the point, and no question the Cubs had control of that power play for the last 15 seconds, and they made no mistake. You can't fault the Sioux goaltending on that one, and that's the 12th shot in the second period.
And it's now 6-0 as the big guy, Greg Major, uses that chicken wing power and blasts it home.
Well, I guess the only question now is, Jack, will Stroni be able to save the shutout, and how high will the score go?
It seems that way, my friend. From the face-off, Elliott for the Sioux. Long shot kicked away by Stroni. Warnock trying to get to it. Levent off the boards, taken away by Sean Scott. Gets it up to Brown. Brown gets by his man, going in, and backhands and scores! What a play by Dave Brown! That was a beauty.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. He was checked, he was hooked, he was turned around, but he still got the shot away, and I'll tell you, what a goal by Dave Brown. Just determination and work, determination and work. That's all there was.
And you won't see one any prettier than that. 2 goals in 21 seconds by the Cubs here, and it's now 7-0. That was a beauty. I'd like to see that again, Denise. Can you rewind that? Just never stops. And there he goes again. Brown right in on that puck behind the Sioux net. Here he comes up front, scores!
Well, we said a few minutes ago, how high is it going to go, and are they going to maintain the shutout? We don't know how high it's going to go, and we don't know whether they're going to maintain the shutout, but I can tell you, if they keep putting the heat on like they have in the last 2 or 3 minutes, there's going to be a lot of goals up on that scoreboard. 4:23 remaining here in the second period. We've now got an 8-0 score. Probably a good time, Jack, to mention that Denise was talking a while ago about getting married in 3 months or something, and she's looking for some antique cars to be in the wedding parade, and she's willing to pay. So if anybody out there, you know...
But if they want to donate, that's great.
Well, that's right. So they should call Denise at the cable company.
There you go. 3 goals in 33 seconds here, and the Cubs have blown this one wide open, 8-0. Dave Brown, 2 goals in 12 seconds. There's a shot. Off of Zago's pad, up another play. So Dave Brown putting on a show here in the third. He now has the hat trick.
No.
in this game.
You can't beat that. And you know, one thing we've said all year is this Cub team is very unselfish with the puck. They pass the puck around. They give the other guy the goal if the opportunity's there.
And I think Brownie made a mistake. He should have had that autograph session tonight.
Well, maybe he's still got time.
He might have some people out there tonight. From the face-off, Cubs in control again. Joyelle clears it in. Penalty coming up here to the Sioux.
Well, certainly you're going to see a lot of that now. I think the sticks from the Sioux team are coming up. I think frustration is starting to show. Sioux hasn't played that bad tonight. They've just been overpowered and overmatched.
3:59 left here in the second period. And the Sioux will be shorthanded, trailing 8-0. And this will be, I think it's going to be a long one from here on in.
Well, it sure is, and McDonald got the high sticking penalty, but there could have been one or two others out on that series of plays, and I think Poirier's done a good job trying to keep this game going, and the third period, if the score remains like this, is going to be a tough one to call.
For sure. From the draw, Alexander gets it back to Joyelle, over to Seaman, who can control it. Up with the man advantage here. Throwing it in on goals, they go down. Frank trying to center it. Morrison can't get a hold of it, but Frank gets it back. Seaman. Joyelle. Uma Frank. Back for Joyelle. There's the shot right on. Rebound. Morrison will get it, and he fires it down the ice. 1:30 left in the Cup power play. 3:25 in the period. That pass behind Safiris, and the Sioux blasted back down the ice. Seaman picking it up in the corner, fires it around behind the net to Joyelle. He brings it to center. Joyelle, penalty coming up here to the Sioux. Cubs will have a two-man advantage here. Goaltender's on the bench, extra man's out there. Here's Seaman walking in. Scores!
Well, there was another penalty being called on that play, and it was going to be a high-sticking penalty to the Sioux, and if the Sioux continue this trend to the rest of the game, they're just going to get buried.
9-0. Seaman scoring on the delayed call.
And it looks like there's going to be a penalty as well, and perhaps this happened after the play, Jack. I suspect that it did. The Sioux player taking his seat in the box.
It's getting interesting here, folks.
Well, it's going to be a hard game to control from here on in. There's going to be a lot of frustration, and I think there's going to be a lot of stick work, and I really think Scott Poirier is going to have a tough job. And I said that before, and it's very evident here, getting close to the end of the second period.
So a four-minute penalty. Hope these mics don't pick up all this green language.
Well, I think there's something funny going on here, Jack.
Not all is right in Denmark this evening. So the Cubs, leading this hockey game 9-0, now have a 4-minute power play. Bain behind the net. Here's Safiris. Gets by Wimet. In over the line. Cubs setting up now. Puck was high in the air. Puck staying out of play with 2:20 to go here in the period.
It was a double minor penalty.
Yeah.
3:22 left in that penalty. Boy, you talk about uphill or what?
You're being nice about this, aren't you?
Well,
You're being diplomatic.
Well, let's say we're trying to make a game out of it. It's pretty
right.
tough to do
Yeah.
at this point in time.
I mean, the Sioux really, all they can do now is hang on for dear life and try and get out of here and try to regroup this week in the Sioux, and I don't know what they're going to do. Now we've got Sittler and Krieger getting into it inside the Cub blue line, and we'll get more penalties there. Now Sittler takes a grab at Burnham as he's skating to the penalty box, and I think that's going to be the end of number 17 in this hockey. Andy's doing the right thing. He's just letting him pull him down. He's not even fighting back.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to see, and you've got an 8th place team playing a 1st place team, and Andy did the right thing. Andy did the right thing. They need Andy in the next series, and the Sioux doesn't need Sittler in the next series because there isn't going to be a next series.
He just ripped the sweater right off, Andy. Look at his sweater. It's torn.
Well, we're going to put
That's
that
it.
one up for auction. He won't be able to eat any more chicken wings. Well, he didn't eat any, but MacArthur was scared that he was going to be the opposition.
Yeah, well, so was I. I've seen Andy eat chicken wings. Well, I'm proud of Andy for what he did there, because Andy's been known to lose it a little bit at times, too, when he gets ticked off, and he held his cool there, and way to go, Andy.
Well, he sure did.
That was a good thing you did there. Very smart
And the
thing.
Cubs are going to have to do that the rest of the night. But, Jack, let me say this, that if they think it's going to be tough to do tonight, wait till they get into the Sioux next Saturday night.
No kidding.
They're going to have to really be very disciplined.
Well, all those penalties we thought we'd see last night, we're seeing tonight here, because we've had a few in this game, and Sittler just got himself a game. Now, I assume there was more coming to that.
I think Andy's asking if he can go and change his sweater. We're going to let him change the number, maybe.
Does he have another one? Yeah, he might have to change his number. That Sittler got a 5 up on the board there, so a 5 in a game. I'll tell you one thing. It's a long trip out to the Sioux at the best of times. It's going to be even longer for these guys, won't it?
Well, it sure is. Like, it's one thing to get beat 6-3 or 7-3 or something like that. It's another thing to get beat 9-0, but it's another thing to get beat 9-0 and start taking cheap penalties, stick penalties in particular, that are very unnecessary.
Boy, then this Sioux team's going to be short-handed for a long time here.
Art Stroney's signaling down there he wants a drink, and he can't seem to get the attention at the Cub bench here. I wonder if they got the radio down there. They can take him over the water bottle.
He just wants somebody to talk to. He's lonely down there.
Well, I guess he needs a drink, but I'm not sure that he's overheated. He hasn't had a lot of work, although he's looked good on the shots that have been there, Jack. And as a matter of fact, much like Jason did last night, when Jason had to be there, he was there. And when Art had to be there tonight, he was there.
Sure.
So the score is, 9-0. We've got 2:13 left here in the second period. And, the only thing really that's left in doubt is, will it be a shutout?
And the Cubs have to be careful with this penalty stuff, and so far they've done a good job of staying away from it. And he's going to wear number 12 now, by the way, just so you know.
Well,
I don't want you to get confused.
I suspected that he might. Well, he might be a little hard to confuse him because he's probably about 6'4". Now we got a little problem down here on the Carlucci bench, I believe, or the bench area.
I think he's
Fans.
throwing the
Just a
fans
few fans. Nothing to
Okay.
get excited about because there aren't that many fans here tonight anyway.
That's true. I think the
There
ones
was
that
quite
were
a
there
bit
were...
back there, and
Was
they
there?
were giving Sue kind of a hard time.
There you go.
There we got it straight from Denise, and I'll
See-
tell you can't go much higher than that.
For those people who are listening tonight and we're going to come to the game, see what you're missing? All
right.
this excitement. So Sittler gets a 5-minute major and a game. And
So for 8 minutes, no, not for 8 minutes, I'm sorry, for 3 minutes and 15 seconds, the Sioux are going to play 2 men short.
And they can sure afford that at this point, can't they?
Well, I
might
wouldn't
as
want to be the goaltender.
I might as
Jack.
well go borrow $1 million and try and pay it back. Here's Major to Bain. Lets it go. Zago the save. Tried to grab the rebound, and McLean was there, but Zago didn't get his glove on it, so we'll have another face-off. We've got 2:03 to go in this period. This period is kind of been elongated.
Yeah, it was okay for about 8 minutes, but all of a sudden there it really started to get draggy, and it is draggy, and it's going very slow at the present time.
We might even be able to get the news on in this intermission. Hint, hint to my buddy back at the station. Can you do that? Thanks, buddy. Here we go. Major has it off the end of his blade, but they keep it in. Here's Alex Bain walking in, decides to turn away. Back to Major. Here comes the shot. Oh, a hot one, and Zago gets his glove up on it and hangs on.
What a save that was too, Jack, because Greg moved into the top of the circle and he blasted that thing. I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't want to be standing between the pipes.
I've said that many a time.
Or behind the pipes.
Greg's mad at himself. He figured he had that one. I did too, actually.
Well, it was a dandy
It was a nice
shot.
save.
It was a very good save.
Well, one thing we can say about the Sioux in the 2 games so far in the series, that if they give their goaltenders heck, they've got a problem. Here's Joyelle, the Seaman. McCrank, and he put it right on the stick of Hilder, laid down the ice and goes. Cubs with a 2-man advantage here. Minute 28 to go in the period. Joyelle Coming out to center with it. Doyle stays right with it. Belanca takes him off the puck. Pierce is going to keep it in. He's going to wind up. Oh, and that hit something or someone in front, and now we get a whistle. The net's come off.
Yeah, it looks like the net come off the post there, but Tim couldn't get that puck to sit down.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, when he winds up, there's another scary thing, eh? When he cranks up over his head, look out. That first goal tonight that he scored to start this game, was that a zinger or what? Top corner?
Yeah, it sure was, you know, and that's one thing the kids today, I don't know what they do, but they shoot the puck a lot better than they used to shoot it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether they do strength training or what, but out there, maybe it's just natural.
Maybe a little bit better sticks too, eh? A little lighter.
Well, that could be.
More flex to them. Here's Seaman, and that was a knuckler up over top of the net. And now Scott and Rosetto get the sticks up a bit. Cubs in control here with his two-man advantage. 50 seconds. Another penalty coming up here to the Sioux. As Stroney's on the bench, McLean's on the ice. He's the extra man. They walk in, the shot, rebound, shot wide of the net. McLean getting it back to Seaman. There's a blast, a high drive to save. They really score. And I think Dave Brown might have got his stick on that. Is that a possibility?
It could have been, but I believe the Sioux is going to get a penalty anyway because he was going to call 2 penalties on the play, so the goal will wash out 1. There was a slash and a cross-check, and the cross-check is going to stand. 35 seconds here remaining in this very bizarre second period.
And they waved off that goal, by the way.
Oh, they have waved it off.
Okay, so I guess it must have been a high stick that knocked
You
it.
might have been right. Brownie got a stick on it.
I think when I looked at Brownie's face coming to the bench, he looked a little disappointed there. So
Are you telling me that he knew?
I think he knew right away. Why did I do that? 35 seconds left in the period. Cubs in control again from the draw. Here's Gibson. Lays it to the side of the net. Scott was going for it. Just missed it. Here's Gibson. Over to Major. Here comes the blast. And a save by Zago. Major again. He's going to tee it up again. And he missed the net. Penalty coming up here. Scott and Morrison start shoving on the far side.
Well, this is what it's going to be. We said that a short while ago, and the best thing that the Cubs can do is stay away from it. And it's going to be hard to do, Jack. It's easy for us to say we're standing up here away from the play. We're not getting the cheap shots. Scotty is going to get a penalty. I guess he must have retaliated, but they're going to have to be prepared for this, particularly in the third period. We're virtually through the second period here now. We're down to 13 seconds, and boy, I'll tell you, Claude's going to have to get the guys settled down there in the dressing room at the end of the second.
For sure.
You know, for some reason, we've got more people in here tonight. One of the young teams might have been playing away or somewhere tonight.
It seems to me that we've had a few more people come in as the game has gone on.
We have, for sure.
Spark heads over to the penalty box. 13 seconds left in this period. Face off outside the Sioux line. Cubs with a 9-0 lead in this one in game 2. Toronto, the line stopped 5 seconds now as Gibson just turned in front of his own net. And he'll bring it out to center ice, and that will do it for period number 2. Jim, an interesting period. We've seen a few things in there, some pretty goals and some rough stuff. And
yeah, we did. It was kind of a bizarre second period. The Cubs had 24 shots on goal. Sioux Carlucci had 5. That gives the Cubs 46 shots on goal to this point, to Carlucci 14. And Sioux Carlucci just are overmatched. There's no question about it. And there's absolutely no hope that they're going to be even close in this series.
The big star in that second period, Dave Brown, with the hat trick as the Cubs score in that second period 6 goals to blow this one right open. And Chad Finn left at about the 7:21 mark of the period. He was replaced by Robert Zago, but it didn't do them any good because the Cubs just kept coming. And as you mentioned, overmatched is, I guess, the best way to describe this whole thing. For you people watching on Cable 12, don't go away. We'll be back with the third period after this. I'll tell you though, one thing you can't say about this year's Cub team and last year's Cub team is they're both good hockey players.
They sure are.
Good with 3 O's.
And you know, it's a nice thing to see because there's a lot of Cub fans that have been here for, as Cub fans for 30, 40 years, and they're still here cheering them on.
That's right. And here they come, Severus in over the line, dropping it back to the line. Joel over to Major. Here he comes, and he hit the post. And now Krieger is there and picks it up and slides it in the empty net. They won't get any easier than that for Jeff Krieger.
Well, they sure won't, but I'll tell you something. That's quite a start to the period here. That took exactly 12 seconds, and that blast from Greg Major could have went in the net just as easy as hit the post. But Krieger did a good job to pick that one up and pop it in. And we've got a 10-0 score here. I'm not sure we expected a 10-0 score, but I'll tell you, we expected a fairly big score.
So right off the bat, the Cubs strike here, and for Sault Ste. Marie, they're still shorthanded. And I think they just took another penalty here, or is that the? Oh no, that's okay. I know what happened there. That was called already. Here's Pierce, slowly working his way in. Cubs looking for more here. Major throws it across to Joel, back to Major, back to Joel. Major going to let it go, and it went off the stick to the corner. He falls. Cubs will keep it in. Joel to Major. Throws it in front. Oh, Safiris trying to one-time that home and just missed it. Here's Major again. Off his skate to the corner it goes. And it's cleared out and down the ice by the Sioux. Joel to center. In over the line. Pass behind McLean. Here's Joel walking in. Lets it go. Right on. Rebound. Brown's there looking for his fourth goal. And he's got it. Dave Brown finally got his stick on that one and fought it at home.
Well, it's just a shooting gallery out there right now, Jack, and I'll tell you why. The Cubs are playing with 4 men on the ice, plus the goaltender. Sue Carlucci are playing with 3 plus the goaltender, and it's a hang of a lot easier to play with that kind of a power play than 5 against 4. And there's lots of room out there, and it's just a shooting gallery, nothing more than that.
And they're changing the goaltenders again.
He's tired. He's tired. We've only played less than 2 minutes here in the third period, and I'm going to tell you, this guy's had a lot of shots.
Chad Finn back in goal now as the Cubs lead it 11-0. Here comes Brown looking for 5. McLean. Puck got stuck in the water. Brown in front, and he shot it up over top the net. Dave Brown, a one-man wrecking crew here tonight. I guess when you pick the 3 Cub stars, he'll be at the top of the list, won't he?
Oh, we're going to give him a look.
Well, you're tough. You're just going to give him a look, yeah? Here he comes. They come again. Bain with the puck. Brown trailing the play. Bain lets it go. Finn stops it in the corner. Back to the line of Cubs. Seaman couldn't keep it in. And Seaman picks it up. Bain in over the line. Dumps it into the corner. Brown after it. Here's Rivard trying to center it. Doesn't come out in front. Goes to the near corner. Sioux get a hold of it, and down the ice it goes. And in 29 seconds, the Sioux penalty will be over. Penalties will be over, finally. Here come the Cubs now. Seaman. Gets it to Miller. Dumps it in. Finn's going to come out and try and play it. Pumps over his stick. Alexander after it. Burnham trying to work his way out in front. Wrap around the 10th. Miller's there trying to get loose. He was tied up. Finn will cover it up. 17-12 to go in the period. It's 11-0 Cubs, and we'll be right back.
Well, the face-off's going to be in the Sioux end to the right of the goaltender. I believe Chad Finn is back in there now. And the Sioux goaltender's certainly been very busy here tonight. The shots have been quality shots. There haven't been too many easy ones, I can tell you. Burnham got the draw, didn't get the shot away, and Carlucci break out. Coming down ice as we met. He goes down but keeps the puck.
Play underway in the Cub zone. Miller back there to take the puck, gets it to Major. Throws it across to Gibson. Tried to get it up. Alexander was out of his reach. And here comes Boyer for the Carlucci. He's Bumped by Gibson. Now he and Gibson get their sticks up on the far side. They break it up, and back come the Cubs. Here's Miller. With Gibson, there's a shot block. Miller stays with it. Tried to center it, but it's tied up. Miller again, looking in front. Here's Burnham now. Slides it over to Major. He misses it. Ducato just dumps it to center ice, and Andy Burnham's there to take it away. Here comes Jake Gibson, dropping it back to the line. Pierce right on. Finn kicks it up and out of play. And so we get another stoppage.
16:08 left here in the third period. The score remains at 11-0. And as we said earlier, Jack, the only question mark about this game is whether the Cubs will get a shutout or not. And at this point in time, it looks like they have a good chance.
And did we just jinx the goaltender? No,
I don't think so. I don't believe all that stuff, you know. The resident sports authority sometimes pulls that stuff on you, but I won't do that.
Oh, boy. You're not a superstitious fellow, are you?
Not when it comes to this kind of game.
There's a shot wide of the Sioux goal, but Crank. Behind the net, Pierce runs into Cochran. And Cochran's hurt. He's staying out there, but he's in some pain. Warnock on the far side can't come up with the puck. Pierce loses it, and it's dumped to center. And Cochran favoring his right arm, right shoulder, heading to the bench. Finn's going to freeze that and hang on. And when you run into Tim Safiris, it's like running into a wall, and he felt that one.
Well, we keep saying that, Jack, you know, and I don't know how big Tim is, and I've asked that question a couple times, but somebody told me he's around 180 or 185 pounds, and he's pretty solid out there, and we've said a lot of times that when he takes you out, you're out.
There you go. Nothing more needs to be said. Cubs keeping it in from the draw. Behind the net it goes. Finn playing it for McDonald. He flips it to center. Seaman back in. McDonald right back out again for the Sioux. Kilderly takes a bump from Rivard. And McDonald will pick it up. Throws it across to Morrison. Almost hit the linesman with that clearing pass and doesn't get out. Morrison again will try, and Scott keeps it in. And Warnock trying to get around Gibson. Falls. 9 times out of 10, Jim, the Cubs win the battles along the boards, don't they, against this team?
They sure do.
Here's Rivard. He's got a man in front. Scott goes in, and he shot it up over top the net. Gibson from the point, and that just missed. McDonald keeping it high in the air. The Warnock was behind him. And here comes Gibson back the other way. He misses the net. McDonald. Flips it in the air to center. Too far for Ducato and Boyer. And here comes Burnham. Laying it into the Sioux zone. Behind the net it goes. 14 minutes left here in the third period. Cubs leading at 11-0. They'll go up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series, and they'll be looking to wrap it up next Saturday night in the Sioux. Burnham can't come out front with it. And now the Sioux player goes down. I think Andy's going to get a penalty for hooking.
Looks like a hooking penalty. You're right, Jack. And that's not going to mean a lot, I don't think. It's going to give the Sioux a bit of a chance, perhaps, to get a goal. But we'll wait and see, because the trend tonight has been when the Cubs are short-handed, they're just as dangerous as when they're at full strength.
That's true.
And, you know, Andy's played pretty well tonight.
Yeah.
I've sort of zeroed in on him because, you know, Andy takes a few penalties here and there and that type of thing. But, boy, I'll tell you, he's played good without the puck tonight, and he hasn't had any real bad penalties. That was a hooking penalty. I mean, that happens.
And he showed a lot of discipline tonight, not retaliating, and especially when Sittler went after him for no reason, really. Andy wasn't even involved in that situation. Sittler was frustrated. Here's McLean trying to get away. He's tied up by Belanger. Sioux on the power play here. Trying to come out of their own zone, and the Cubs just take the puck away, as they have all night. Alexander coming off the ice with Frank jumping on. Greg Major picking off that pass, turns and fires it down the ice. Greg even shoots that thing hard when he's just getting rid of it, doesn't he?
He just gives it a flip and away it goes.
There's Joyelle walking into one, and he just missed. Well, he's a steady defenseman, isn't he, number 4?
He is.
Look at that. He just flicked those wrists, Greg Major did, and that thing went all the way down from inside his own blue line right to the goaltender. He caught it eye high.
You do what you do best, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Belanger. Can't do anything with it. Sault Ste. Marie just totally disorganized here. They don't have a clue what's going on here. They have a power play, and they haven't even been able to get past center ice with it. And look at this Sioux player here, inside the Cup blue line, waiting for a pass. That's a good place to be, I think.
Well, Ken Edgar did that for quite a few years playing outlaw hockey. He used to be over the center red line all the time, and he popped a few goals.
He just waits for it. There's a lead pass up to Hilderly, 2 lines offside. 11-0 Cubs, and we'll be right back.
Well, we're just playing out the third period here, and as Jack mentioned, 12:04 left here in the third period, and the Cubs are still shorthanded for 18 seconds. Score remains at 11-0. The faceoff will be outside the Cub blue line. Hinderly will take the draw for Carlucci, and Tim Safiris will take the draw for the Cubs. Play goes to Major. In his own end, he dumps it all the way down ice, and as Jack mentioned earlier, just a flick of the wrist and down it goes.
That was interesting.
It sure was.
Bid coming out. Here's Major. Whoa! Did that hit the side of the net, the glove, or what?
No, I don't think it did.
The post?
The post went up.
There you go. And he said hit the post. Well, Greg's hit it a couple times tonight.
There's those young eyes again, Jack.
Yeah. Those piercing young eyes. When she's looking at you and she's ticked off, you're in trouble. Right, Andrew?
I wouldn't know. I don't.
Andy Burnham hustling into the zone, centers it in front. Cleared away. And now Corcoran steals it from Major. And he lets it go right on. And Strode, that's the first shot he's had quite some time. Oh, here we go. Burnham and Rosetto. And Rosetto doesn't have a helmet on, and Andy's laying some good ones on him. And down goes Rosetto, and Andy's still pounding away on him.
Well, Jack, I'll tell you something, and I'm not going to criticize the officials, but they stood by a little bit too long on that one. Andy had no choice. He had to get into it or stand there and get hit. The Sioux player was looking for trouble. He found it.
He sure did. He should have kept his helmet on. So they both go.
I mean, the Sioux's got nothing to lose now, and the message that the Cubs have to get, and it's going to be hard to get, is they can't stand to get a 2 or 3 game suspension. It means nothing to the Sioux team. And I know, I said earlier, and you said it as well, we're up here, it's easy to say, it's hard to do, but they've just got to do it in some way, shape, or form. And on that particular play, Andy didn't have any choice at all.
Oh, he had to go. He had to go with it.
But the guys that hand out these suspensions have to, they should be more aware of some of the situations. And perhaps that's the type of thing that should be on the referee's report. And I'd be very interested to see how that one's written up.
And you know, Rosetto hasn't been on the ice very often tonight, number 4, Mark Rosetto. I think he had about 4 or 5 shifts. And, so I wonder if there's anything to that. But they both go, they'll get, I assume, 5 for fighting in games, game misconduct.
5 minutes for fighting in game misconduct. That's Burnham, 5 minutes for fighting.
So Andy gets 5 in a game for fighting. And they're not, they announced the Rosetto cut.
5 minutes for fighting in game misconduct. California 11-29.
Both 5 in a game. As we thought, here comes Sean Scott for the Cubs. Offside, the pass to Pierre Rivard inside the Sioux line.
Well, actually, that last shot on goal that Sue Carlucci got was their first shot on goal here in the third period. And as a matter of fact, they've had 14, 15 shots on goal all night up to this point. So that tells the story. There's no question about where the play's been, and there's no question about what the goaltending for the Sioux has been like. It could easily be 20 at this point in time.
It's been a couple of long nights for the Sioux Carlucci. Finn comes out to play it behind the net. 10:35 left here in the hockey game. As Cochran, who seems to have survived that Spears hit back out there. Wimet takes a hit from Gibson. I think Gibson's going to get a penalty here.
He looks like he's going to get an elbowing penalty, and that's what it is. But, you know, Jake's 6'3",
Yeah.
I guess, or something like that. The elbow was up for sure, but on Jake, that elbow would be just about where it should be.
That's true. Didn't look all that bad from here, but as
you got to call it in a game with a score like this, especially when the team is as frustrated as the Sioux team is tonight. You've got to call the odd one of those and try and keep the game under control.
Here's Seaman behind the net. He's out in front. Boyer off the board. High drive off the glass. Cochran keeping it in at the line. Shore's going to crank it around the glass. Don't stand in front of that, boys. All the way down the ice she goes. And Finn will play it. The goaltender, he threw it right in front of the net that was empty. I guess at this point it doesn't really matter, does it? 12-0, 11-0, it's all the same. Good job by McCrank to get back there and break that up. Here's Miller trying to get by his man Elliott. Down he goes. They get their sticks up a bit. Cochran now for the Sioux. 1:17 left in the power play for the Carlucci as they come to center. Boyer in over the line. Looking in front, centers it. Zuccato can't get his stick on it. Zuccato winds up off the stick, up and out of play, and Miller flattens him as he lets it go.
Well, we're running it down now, Jack. We've got 9:28 left here and 1:03 left in the penalty to the Cubs. The shutout is still there, and we'll dwell on that from here till the end of the game because there's not much else left out there.
No. And Art Stroni, as you said, hasn't had a lot of shots, but he was there when they needed him to be. Stopped the breakaway, and
He's looked pretty steady.
there's the and as you say that, you jinxed them there, Jimmy.
Well,
McDonald, that was a heck of a shot.
not many guys were going to stop that shot. I don't
He
care who
rifled
it
it.
was. And I don't think Stroni's too worried about the shutout. I mean, the game is out of reach. The Cubs want the game. They're more interested in the game, I'm sure. The shutout would have been nice. It's not there now, so they can quit worrying about that, and I'm sure they weren't. We were.
Do you guys get all that?
Did you wake Denise up?
I think I just did.
And she's getting paid for this.
Am I glad this didn't start at 8:30? Oh, boy. Kilderly for the Sioux to McDonald, the goal scorer on the power play. Just, and it's 11-1, 9:06 left. Here comes Corcoran up for Hilderly, picked off by Joyelle. Belanger off Safiris' skate, he goes down. McDonald takes a check from Joyelle, hits the deck. Krieger slowing things down here behind the net. Warnock for the Sioux, dumping it in behind the net. Stroni comes up to play it. Belanger playing it to an open wing. Bain moving up, can't get to it. Safiris will circle in his own zone, turns away from Hilderly. Gets it to Krieger, who clears it off the glass at center. Elliott playing it back into the middle. And here comes Bain moving up. Battling with Elliott, and the Sioux will dump it out, and here's Hilderly. He's got Corcoran with him, lets the shot go. The puck hit it, centered in front, right through the crease to the line, and chipped out by McLean. There's a long shot that Stroni gets his pad on. And Bain clears it up to Safiris. Dave Brown back on the ice. The Pistons are churning. He's bumped off the puck by Elliott. And here comes Boyer. Dumps it in, takes a bump. Major clearing it up, but out of play. 11-1 is the score in favor of the Cubs, and we'll be right back.
7:34 left here in the third period. The faceoff will be in the Cub end. Dave Brown will take the draw for the Cubs. Ouimet probably will take the draw for the Sioux. Not much doubt about the outcome of this game. Cubs will play next Saturday night in Sault Ste. Marie in probably the final game of the series. The draw is cleared. It's brought out by Major. He has trouble. Picked up by Seaman ahead to Brown. There he goes. Dave Brown's on his way. He moves in. There's the shot and an easy save by the Sioux goaltender.
Can I go now?
Okay, Jack.
He was doing good there, right? I could leave. No, I can't go. Well, I just got that look from Denise there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think Denise has got you under strict orders to stay.
She said I could go. Oh. Well, that means I can go. There's a shot. They score. Did Brown get that one too?
Pretty harmless shot. It looked like Brownie might have got it. It looked like it might have touched one of the Carlucci players on the way through. Not a great goal, but it was up on the board.
And that's
7-19, and that's 5 for the Browner.
So I guess you're really considering him
well,
now.
I'll tell you. It's one of those nights, Jack. It's not that easy to look down there and you wonder, like Brownie's shoe-in. There's no question about that. 5 goals, you can't turn away from that. But you look at the rest of the team, and a lot of guys have played well. You know, you can't pick 5 or 6 guys, unfortunately.
But you know, even if Dave Brown hadn't scored 5 goals tonight, you still have to say he played well, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere all the time.
He's as pesty as best tonight.
Yeah. He's like MacArthur. He's everywhere all the time. And here he comes again to center. Number 16. Hustles around his man, pin out to play it. Gets caught out of the net, and Ouimet's there to take it away. Cochran. Flips it down into the Cub zone. Stroney will play it. Clears it into the corner to Sean Scott. Flips it high in the air to Brown's cut off. Seaman down behind his net. Shore to an open wing. Cochran will be kicking off to the Sioux. Plays it up to Boyer. Trying to get around Seaman. He's cut off, and Scott takes over. Sean Scott up to Jeremy Miller. Into the middle to McCrank. Couldn't control it. And McDonald, the lone goal scorer for the Sioux, skates it to center ice. Over to Corcoran. Tried to chip it through to Boyer. That didn't work, and Gibson will play it up to Alexander. Shot right back in by the Sioux, as referee Scott Corey had to duck on that one. Here's Steve Alexander for the Cubs with 5:45 left here in this hockey game. Dumping it in. Finn will play it. Clears it around the boards to the point. Joel's there. Chops it back in. Belanger. Back along the boards to the line it comes again, and Joel's there to keep it in. Round behind the net. Belanger will try the other side this time. Now McDonald picks it up. Off the glass to center and down the ice. Gibson chasing it. And he'll pick it up. Stopped in behind the net as Hilderly rushes in there and takes a run at him. Watch those two guys behind the play here. Thought something might develop there. Finn missed that one as it was cleared in behind the net. Warnock clears it to the boards, but not out. Gibson wound up, had the shot blocked. Now it's a Pierce right on, and Finn stops that. It's at the side of the net, and the pile up, and they'll freeze it with 4:53 to go in the third period.
Well, the action is where it's been all night, Jack, in the Sioux end. No question about that. The shots on goal here in the third period, I've got 15 for the Cubs and 3 for Carlucci, and the play has been that lopsided for sure. And I thought McLean played a pretty good game tonight, too. I noticed on that last play there, he got decked pretty good behind the net. He didn't stay on the ice or anything else. He was right up and back in the play.
As you said, you know, everybody's played pretty decent. Even the guys that only had a few shifts when they were out there, they did everything they were supposed to do and did it right. Pierce back-checking to his own line. Krieger dumping it in. Finn will play it for Belanger. He chips it over on the right side to Warnock. Clears it in. Gibson. Hilderly runs at him. That didn't seem to bother Big Jake. Now here's Safiris catching up to a loose puck. He's got a break, goes in, and he's stopped by Finn. And Warnock grabs it and shoots it down the ice, and that will be icing charged against the Sioux. And Timmy, I thought was going to shoot. He usually does, but this time he tried to deke, and Finn read the play and made a nice save.
Yeah, he sure did. And the goaltender stayed fairly close to the crease area. And when Tim made the deke, there just was no room left. But there's not a lot of things happening right now, really, other than a few shots on goal against the Sioux team, because there's no play in the Cub end of the ice, and we've only got 4:14 left here in the third period.
Rivard in on the draw to the right of Finn against Ouimet. Puck goes to the corner. Elliott dumps it along the boards to Boyer. Back in behind the Sioux goal, where it's taken there by Morrison. Flips it up on the wing to Zuccato, who can't get away with it. Rivard broke that up. Try their luck again. Bain moved up and intercepted that pass. Cubs anticipating everything the Sioux does. They're usually a step ahead of them. Here's Ouimet. Zuccato, a hot shot and a nice save by Strone as he shot out the left hand.
Well, he sure didn't have any trouble on that one. He was ready for that. He looked very set on the play, and that only gives 4 shots for the Carlucci here in the third period, but there's been a couple good ones, Jack. Face-off will be to the right of the Cub goaltender Strone, and we'll turn it back over to Jack.
But I don't want to. Here's Morrison, a knuckleballer, and Strode stops that. Dave Brown, the big star here tonight, as we mentioned, 5 goals in this game, and a couple of them were beauties, especially that spinorama backhander.
Oh, that was a beauty, and you know, Brownie tonight, even when he gets hit, he's still got his legs going, so he's been really effective.
He's really zipping there tonight, isn't he? He likes these 7:30 starts.
Well, you know, you can look around and you can make all the comments you want to make, but one thing about it, if the kids want to put the determination and effort into it, this is the kind of result that you're going to see.
Morrison fires one wide of the net. Elliott on the far side keeping it in. Bain picks it off and gets it up to Brown, who's behind him. He keeps on going, though, chasing it to the corner against Morrison. Comes to the line, and Zuccato got his stick up on the shore, and Zuccato's going to go.
Well, with 3:16 left here in the third period, the play had to be called. No question about that, and that puts the shots on goal here in the third period up to 19 in favor of the Cubs. You know, that's going to be about 150 shots on goal, roughly speaking, last night and tonight for the Sioux goaltending.
That's right, yeah.
That's a pretty busy weekend.
It's been a long weekend for the Sioux, and I was told that they came in here on Thursday night. Stayed overnight.
That.
Yeah, they wanted to be well rested for this.
Might not have been a good strategy.
No, I don't think they'll be staying tonight. I think they'll be on that bus and heading home. Strone comes out to play that. Frank gets it to Seaman. Here's Miller firing it in around the boards. Cubs will keep it in right in front of Miller, and he couldn't get control of it as he tried to make a move and slide it in. 2:45 left here in the hockey game. 1:26 in the Cub power play. Seaman playing it into the corner. Now out comes the Sioux. Cochran. Now he backtracks, trying to kill some time. I don't know if that's such a good idea for him to be backtracking in his own zone the way they've not been able to come out of there tonight. But
pretty dangerous stuff.
Joyelle picking up the puck now around behind his net to Seaman. Up from a crank. A little bit out of his reach. Cochran takes over to McDonald. 51 seconds left in the power play as McDonald puts it high in the air into the Cubs zone. Joyelle will bring it right back out. Safiris back there to grab the loose puck, gets it up to Joyelle. Dumps it into the Sioux zone, right on goal. Finn will glove it, and he decides he better hang on with 1:48 to go in the game. 32 seconds in the Cub power play. 12-1.
Well, it's in the book. There's no question about that. And, you know, we keep saying that the Sioux team has been overmatched. They certainly have been overmatched. And besides being overmatched, they haven't really put much effort into the game. The last 5 or 6 minutes, the Cubs have sort of coasted too, but you can't blame them for that. They want to get the next game played and get it over with, and then let's go on from there.
Of course, this is the quarterfinal series, so if the Cubs continue to advance, they'll play 2 more series after this. There's a shot right off. It makes a save, and on the rebound, he robs Krieger. So good goaltending there by Chad Finn. And then, of course, we all know the Cubs have the Air Canada Regionals here this year, and it's sold out. I think there are still some standing room tickets left to buy for the week. If you're interested, you can get a hold of the executive.
You mean we might see some scalpers?
There might be. But the seats are sold. They are gone. That's going to be a fun week, isn't it?
Yeah, we're waiting for that one.
Cochran for the Sioux. Dumping it. Here comes Corcoran now. Will throw it into the Cub zone. 1:22 to go. Kilderly back for the Sioux. Gets to Morrison. Jor couldn't glove that down. And Krieger takes over. Here's Curtis McLean chopping it in. Finn will stop it there for Elliott. Less than a minute to go in this one, and we're thankful for that. Well, aren't you?
Oh, no.
I'm not the only one. I think the Sioux's kind of glad this is almost over, too.
No, I think they are. It's like a Toronto Maple Leaf and Oakland Seal game I watched years and years ago. I didn't know who wanted to get out of the rink the quickest, Toronto or Oakland. And I'll tell you, that was a while ago.
I was going to say, yeah. Greg Major with the puck in the corner. Gets it up on the left side to Rivard. Get over the line, shot right on. Finn way out of the net to make the save. 14 seconds to go in this one. And we can count this down now with 7 to go. Major will just backtrack in his own zone to kill off the clock. And that will do it for this one. The Cubs take a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series. One more win and they've got it, and they're on to the semifinals.
Well, that's right, Jack, and your shots on goal aren't quite as high as last night, but I've got 69 for the Cubs and 18 for the Carlucci, and I guess we're going to have to give you 3 stars, and I guess it'll be Brown, Brown, and Brown. But quite seriously, it'll be, I got to say that Brown has to be the first star, and I thought Jeremy Miller played very well. He gave a lot of effort out there tonight. He didn't show up big time on the scoreboard, but I'm giving him star number 2. I'm going to go with McLean for star number 3. And I'm going to give an honorable mention to Andy Burnham because I think Andy did a good job out there tonight, and he put a lot of effort into it. He played his position fairly well, and he had a little problem there in the 3rd period, but he had no choice but to get involved there, and I'm going to give honorable mention to Andy Burnham.
Sounds good to me. And for you people watching on Cable 12, we'll say good night and thank you for joining us.